Hello, can you all hear me? Good. Thank you for coming. Good evening, and I hope you enjoy the Hust. Hopefully we'll be able to concentrate a little longer while a few more of us tell you how exceptional and talented we are. I hope now to convince you that I have the experience, the personal skills and the commitment to fulfil the different aspects of this position brilliantly. I've spent the majority of my time here at Durham being very involved in Grey College welfare. I was on the welfare team at Grey for a year before leading that team as female welfare officer and being part of the DSU Welfare Committee. Not only have these positions given me an insider's knowledge of the welfare support service university-wide, which is essential for the position, I also proved my qualities as an active leader, bringing about innovative changes to Grey's welfare. These changes included Detox After Freshers Week, a campaign which introduced welfare to the freshers and raised awareness of the welfare in college. This year is also the first year that we are having a lads' night, as well as our very popular ladies' night. I therefore have the great capacity to develop and add to this vital position at the heart of the DSE in ways I will enunciate later in this Hust. I would like to stress that I have not only had experience of welfare at Durham, I have lived the all-round student experience to the full, playing college and university basketball, college rugby, being on the Hill team for the Hill Bailey rugby match for 2 consecutive years, being president of the English Law Students Association, ELSA, in Durham, and representing both ELSA Durham and ELSA UK in Lisbon in 2008. I've managed to do all this and welfare, as well as my law degree. I am organised, competent, and thrive when busy. I am a doer. I have a large experience of sitting on different exec boards and committees, being on the Grey College exec, previously being on the ELSA exec for 2 years, and being on the DSU Welfare Committee. I thus have a wealth of experience of representing student views, both to large committees and in small meetings, and I'm very capable of communicating these views and negotiating diplomatically to ensure that the students of Durham get the most out of their degrees and the Durham student experience. My aims as EWO on the education front are to provide training for the course reps in how best to communicate and raise issues with the students on their courses. I'd like to develop the course reps committee so as to have more regular feedback from students on different courses. I will put an emphasis on providing support for students on multi-department courses such as PPE, who are generally confused about which departments to turn to for support. I would also like to ensure that the mitigating circumstances process provides a fair and reasoned response to issues students may face during their time at university. I would also publicise lecture surgery hours so that students can get the most out of their departments and the best education for their money. I also aim to develop the MCR Welfare Committee and tailor MCR welfare to postgraduate needs. I would like to see each college with an MCR welfare officer or contact. I would also slow the panic house hunt and simplify house hunting by creating an online map of the DSU approved housing in Durham, which would in turn encourage landlord affiliation with the DSU. I would also increase Queen's campus integration. This is vital. I would publicise events to promote equality of access to opportunities on the Durham campus and the Queen's campus alike. I would intensify intercollegiate bonds and encourage dual college formals via the JCR presidents. I would also visit Stockton regularly and hold drop-ins there to better acquaint myself with the students' views. I would also try and get all the DSU committees to mirror the Prescom and the Joint Committee in having at least 1 meeting a term in Stockton. As for JCR welfare, I'm passionately committed to welfare, and I intend to work with the Welfare Committee to raise the standards of student welfare support whilst preserving the uniqueness of each college. I would like to introduce a university-wide campaign just after Freshers Week, during which each day will focus on one of the big welfare campaigns. This will introduce and raise awareness of the broad spectrum of issues that students can turn to welfare for, thus pushing the focus away from an image of welfare that is purely related to sex, which may endanger the approachability of the officers. One of my most important aims is to have a working anonymous online feedback system by the end of the summer. This would facilitate the process of getting feedback from the students, so that I may understand their views in depth. It would also act as an anonymous welfare contact if a student ever needed it. It would also permit students to give anonymous feedback concerning departments or specific people in departments without fear of retribution.
1 minute.
You've heard my ideas, and I hope this Hust has convinced you of my aptitude for this position. I'd like to thank you for listening, and I really encourage you to read my manifesto and have a look at my website for a concise list of my aims and ideas for this position. Thank you very much.